What is up, beautiful human? Hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to talk about darkness, shadow aspects, being the villain, and what doesn't kill you just makes you hotter. And that's just true. So keep on keeping on. One thing I'll say is, I think in our society and just in general, humans, we try to uphold and we're told to uphold the standard of being like morally good, right? And once you kind of lose your grip on wanting to be good or do good things, you realize how much color and flavor is in the darkness. It used to really bug me if I was ever the villain in someone's story. Nowadays, I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to be the villain. I think it's kind of hot, and memorable. I remember all the villains in my life. Now, do I think they're hot from my vantage point and the way I look at it? No, not at all. I'm like, fuck them. Fuck them. But in hindsight, they make me grow so much. If anything, villains are more helpful in us growing in our arc and our storyline than any angel has ever been. So maybe there's something to that. And what I've noticed too lately is, as you may know, if you've watched the channel, I started a protein bar business not that long ago. I just crossed $1,000 in sales, and this unique phenomenon is happening. And the first time it happened, I was like, oh, I don't want that experience. But now I'm like, actually, it's kind of cool, and I'm stepping into the power of it. So there's this phenomenon that's happening where you get a different variety of people that come up to your booth. And it's a lot of older people too, 40s, 50s. And there's this phenomenon of this husband and wife pairing that are coming up. And the husband is like super ecstatic about the bars, especially when they learn that there's creatine. And there's this amount of jealousy and this like discontent that comes across their wife, I presume. I mean, it's pretty clear that they're married. And he's like, and the guy's all excited. And these different things happen. Either one, the wife tries it, she's not as thrilled. The wife walks away as the husband is excited. The wife says, no, we shouldn't buy any. And basically, it's this jealousy and this thing. And I've learned now that it just it's kind of funny. Like it's happened a handful of times now, and I've only just started. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. You think I'm a threat. Like that's kind of cool. That you know what that says about me? I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So what I've noticed, if you ever have a season where you're just like dismantling your reality or you're looking at things and you're trying to figure out life, like I was just in the season of that, and I talked about it a lot in the channel, breaking of illusions, a lot of the illusions we have about our own reality. Like, I think it all starts like in your awakening. I'm just going to use terms that are typically used, although, it's whatever with the terms. I think at first you realize like, oh my gosh, like, the world is whack, and you notice all the conspiracies and all the stuff, and you're like, wow, that's actually real. But then when you get out of the fascination of the external focus of how everything is an illusion and means of control and slavery and all of this stuff, you then turn it inward and ask yourself how you're doing these things to yourself, how you've been conditioned to do these things to yourself. And oftentimes we're meant to suppress, the shadow aspect is all the things we've suppressed. So usually that's things like, maybe you're not so PC. Maybe in your true heart of hearts, you're not so PC. And you want to tell people that their GD ideologies are BS, or whatever. And those things you can suppress because society is like, no, we have to be accepting, we have to do all this stuff. And I'm not saying I'm one way or another, just saying that I see through these things. Or if you're left or if you're right, it's all these like labels and connotations. But when you bring it all into yourself, you're like, okay, how am I doing this to myself? How am I suppressing things, or have I been taught to suppress things that are just natural? Like you can have a natural drive. Like I'm pretty competitive, I would say. And I've at times tried to curb that, in professional settings. And I just don't have that desire anymore. And I can sense that some people think I'm a bee. And I'm not talking about my business, although that's Although what I'm seeing, I'm seeing patterns there too. But just in general, I'm in these different dynamics in my day job, and I just don't care. I'm like, fine, think I'm a bee. I'm actually getting shit done. I'm making things happen. You can think I don't care. And this could backfire, and I don't care about that either. Like, if it becomes a thing where I just don't mesh with people, I don't care. Like, I am done. I am absolutely done being something other than what I am. And what I really am is maybe not so nice. Maybe I call out the BS, the lies, the hypocrisy. Maybe that kind of energy is where I need to be. Places that respect that will do the same for me. Because I have no desire to tell people what they want to hear, to not be truthful, to not get stuff done. And there's a nuance to that. I'm not just like, hey man, you fucking suck. I'm not like direct like that. But if there's a considerable BS, I'm not playing the games anymore. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it for my mental health. Like, I absolutely, if I can, want to avoid ever becoming so depressed again. And a lot of that, I could point fingers, point at society, say all that shit. But when I bring it inward, it's me. It's the decisions I make where I focus my attention, focus my attention. And that's who I want to be in this life. And it's so much easier to be in the stands when you don't give a fuck. There's no one in my life currently that I give a fuck what their opinion means. And I love that. There's so much freedom in that. And you know what the downside is? The downside, what I notice, and I'm not knocking personal relationships or anything like that, but I think it's very important to not get too entangled with anyone until you figure out how they think about the world, where their level of consciousness is, because they could be on whatever level they're on. And if you're on a different level, you will have to, that's exactly what happens. You magnetize and you pull down to like either a middle. So either you're getting pulled down or they're getting pulled up a bit, but you're probably going to get pulled down a bit. There's so many layers to this, and we're all just figuring it out. So I think I'm rambling now, but it's been a minute since I've done one of these videos. I've just been out living life. Crazy, interesting dynamics happening in so many ways. I probably won't get into it just because it's too personal, but when you step into your power and you don't give a fuck what people think about you, and your primary concern is making sure things work for you, life changes. People get magnetized to people like that. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane, the amount of magnetism it feels like I have in this time, in this season. It's bizarre, but it's allowing me to build a lot of things like discernment. I think that's something I've been lacking in my life. And you can look at patterns you have. You can get easily swayed by things people say, the initial maybe attraction you have to people, places, certain situations. But you need discernment. And no matter what, I bet in your life you have a villain character that has given you the gift of discernment. That is super powerful. It's a gift you can't get anywhere else. Because once you get it, you get it. It's just like in life when you manifest. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but it doesn't matter. We're always manifesting. And once you actually see that and feel it and know it to be true, you start embodying it more. You can't run. You can't hide. You can't hide from the stories. You can't make up stories saying, oh, that's just not an out for you anymore. You step into your shoes, you pull your boots up, you get moving, you become a warrior. So anyways, as you could tell, I feel very powerful. I also might be, here's the thing, I either quantum shifted, guys, or I might be manic. But you know what? I'm having fun. I'm stepping into everything. I just feel really good. I feel better than I've ever felt in my entire life. And wouldn't trade that for anything. I'm not going to compromise it for anything. And I'm definitely not letting anyone get into my sphere and fuck things up. That's just how I feel, and I'm sure you can relate. Why is it, I feel like anytime I've stepped in my power like this, there's always like some sort of something that comes by, someone tries to like get your energy and you get attracted too, right? It's like a distraction, like pulls you off your path. I'm like, no, no, no. Nope. Nope. Not today. Not today, Satan. Not today. All right. Anyways, thanks so much for hanging out. It feels a little unhinged. That's just where I am right now. And as always, I will see you when I see you. Take care. Yes, yes, yes. Bye bye for now.